Trust and Believe Nomadcast stands on 3 foundational pillars: mental health, life lessons, and unique storytelling. Thank you for tuning in to episode 53 of the Trust and Believe Nomadcast on the 5th of January, 2022. 5 January 2022. We already in the middle of the week, which is commonly known as Hump Day, right? But we always talk about it as Wayback Wednesday. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Before I even get started with my opening remarks, you know how we do. Got to do some housekeeping and some admin notes. Directly at the bottom, the Trust and Believe Nomadcast.buzzsprout.com continues to serve as your one-stop shop for all your Nomadcast needs, whether you want to listen audio or you want to watch visually. For audio folks, you can listen to all the Nomadcast on the website as well. All you got to do is press play and go to the episode that you want to hear, or go to all of them. Also, Apple, Google, Amazon, Spotify, they all on there. Every podcast platform, major podcast platform, is on the site as well. If you go into that right-hand corner on the banner, you can access my Instagram page, right? You can access the YouTube page. Speaking of YouTube, if you like what you see, you like what you hear, and you want to definitely be a part of this, go ahead and click that subscription button, click that bell icon, click the like button. So now you're notified of all the latest and greatest Nomadcast, all subsequent episodes that'll be coming up. Or you could just binge watch them like everything else. Also, I am on TikTok as well. All right. Now that is out the way and we've done all the admin and the housekeeping stuff, I want to dive into something. It's serious. I think it is serious, and it goes to show you there's 3 sides to the truth. Whoever you talking to, you, and the truth as well, right? In this case, I want to talk about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is a wide receiver currently with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Antonio Brown has had a unique career in the NFL. If you follow sports, you know at one period of time, Antonio Brown was probably one of the top 5, I would even say top 3 wide receivers in the NFL. Very short guy. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9", from Miami. He went to Central Michigan, got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, had a falling out with them. Went to the Oakland Raiders. Yeah, they were still in Oakland at the time. Yep. Went to Oakland Raiders. Went to New England Patriots, got released, and then he ended up signing with Tampa Bay, won the Super Bowl with them last year. So this past Sunday, they were playing the New York Jets, and Antonio Brown has had issues with his ankles for a little bit. So during this past week, he didn't even practice at all. And so I guess Coach Bruce Arians, the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wanted him to go back in for a series during Sunday's game against the Jets. And he had already been playing in that game anyway. But he wanted him to go back in, and I guess Antonio Brown was like, I can't do it. I can't go. So supposedly Bruce Arians was like, get in there, or you fired, or you cut, or whatever he said. I wasn't there. But it just goes to show you everyone is piling on Antonio Brown because it's the easiest thing to do. But if an NFL player tells you, Coach, I'm not feeling it, my ankle hurts, you got to side with the player, because everyone knows no matter what type of person they think Antonio Brown is, physically, Antonio Brown is probably one of the hardest working football players, probably one of the hardest working athletes based on what I've heard, seen, and watched, right? Phenomenal shape. And plus, in that game, he was going to meet certain incentives, related to his contract. So I don't think an NFL player would give up that type of money knowing that he has certain incentives that he can gain. But I guess the main takeaway is I think Antonio Brown probably suffers from a lot of mental issues, probably as a lot of NFL players. But it's a certain play that happened in a playoff game years ago against the Cincinnati Bengals. And you can YouTube it as well. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And Vontae Burfict, who used to be a linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals, hit Antonio Brown. It was a helmet-to-helmet hit. And I'm not going to play that. I just show you the picture here. But you see Antonio Brown was coming across the middle on the crossing route, and Vontez Burfict, caught him helmet to helmet. And if you watch the video of it, Antonio Brown was after that hit, Antonio Brown was laying on the field like a baby. I remember watching that game, and his arms are just in the air after getting hit in the head. Again, this is helmet on helmet. And ever since then, Antonio Brown has had some issues. Got it, understood. But also, again, you can blame the person, you can blame the situation, you can blame the environment, you can blame the coaches. Everyone takes fault in it, but I'm not one of them guys that's going to pile on Antonio Brown. He has his issues just like everybody else. But you can't absolve him from the things he did. You can't absolve the coaching staffs from what they did. You can't absolve the organizations as well. So it's just a situation, that is interesting to follow, but I don't want to dig into the weeds. Again, you can look at that and look at it for yourself. I don't want to show it. That's why I just showed the still of that picture. But again, talking about the truth, the main takeaway for this opening remark is it's all about the truth. Your truth, my truth, and the actual truth, right? So that's it on that. Let's go ahead and move on into Wayback Wednesday. When we come back after the break, Wayback Wednesday, I'm gonna tell a story about how I muted myself. I didn't even answer to the name Damon when my parents was looking for me in a Sears in 1984. Was going Easter shopping. So I'll tell that story. Happened in 1984. That'll be the story for Wayback Wednesday. Again, stay tuned, stay locked. Appreciate everything, y'all. We'll see you in a bit on Wayback Wednesday. Trust and believe. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Trust and Believe Nomad Cast here on the Wayback Wednesday. And as I stated earlier in opening remarks, today's Wayback Wednesday, I'm going to tell a story about how my mother and father were frantically looking for me in the year 1984. And when I decided to mute my voice and not pay attention and not answer their calling while they was looking for a suit for me for Easter. And I could have got in trouble. Could have had something worse done to me. So I'm going to go ahead and tell that story, right? The year was 1984. That was my movie voice, right? So again, let's get into it. 1984, Fairlanetowncenter, Fairlane Mall, right? My mother and father took me Easter shopping to go get a suit. Now, just to give you the backstory on how I was raised, my father, whatever reason, he always found a reason to buy me a suit. We would have family dinners, family get-togethers, what have you. He want me in a suit. If I don't have a suit, wear a dress shirt, wear some dress pants, wear some slacks, whatever it was, right? I remember he used to work at Chrysler, and they used to have an open house when they would introduce the new vehicles for that year. Everyone else was wearing like regular clothes, gym shoes, and all that. Nope, not Damon. You're going to wear a suit. You're going to wear slacks. You're going to wear a trench coat. You're going to have a trench coat and all this, right? Non-comfortable type clothes. We go to the state fair, Michigan State Fair. He want me to wear slacks and dress shoes. Everyone else wearing gym shoes and jeans. Comfortable. It wasn't all the time, but it was a lot of the time, right? If that's even a phrase, a lot of the time. I made it up, so it works. All right, so I remember I wanted a suit like Tubbs from Miami Vice, because at that time, Miami Vice was mine and everyone else's favorite show. Loved Miami Vice, loved Tubbs, right? And so we went to the mall, went to Fairlane, and Fairlane Mall is in Dearborn, a 3-tier mall, 3 rows and every 3 rows, 3 levels. And there was a Sears there. So my father's like, you know what, let's go to Sears and get you a suit. You want to get a suit? Like the guy on Miami Vice, we're going to find the suit. In it. Great. Good looking. So we get to Sears. So we looking at suits. We in the boys section. We looking at suits. Trying to coordinate the tie, the handkerchief, and all this other stuff, right? So while my mother and father, they was actually more into it than I was. I was kind of like, yeah, it fits. All right, let's go back home. Something on the other side of the boys' aisle caught my eye. Something on the other side of the boys' aisle grabbed my attention. Something on the other side of the boys' aisle grabbed me and told me to come here. this is what you want to see. You don't want to really see a suit. You want to see this. And there it was, a row full of Sears semi-tractor trailers. Now, that Sears color was that green, blue, ugly, whatever it was. I love those old school Sears semi-tractor trailers. I'm a semi-tractor trailer guy ever since I was, a young child to now. Love them. Wall full of them, right? And I remember staring at this row. They had a shelf has like 4, 5, 6 rows. They were just full of toy semi-tractor trailers along with the Sears semi-tractor trailers. And I remember just staring at them. So instead of being with my mother and father in the boys section, looking at suits, trying suits on, trying shirts on or whatever, I decided to disengage from my mother and father and maneuver myself over to where these trucks were. Because at that point in my life, those trucks was a little more important than wearing this freaking suit from the dude that played on Miami Vice, right? I'm staring at these suits. And these suits, when these trucks, when I'm looking at them, it's like, ha! It was fascinating. And I remember just looking at them. And I grabbed one, looked at it, looked at the back, read the instructions and all that, put it back on the shelf. And I'm just staring at these trucks. Now, it seemed like I was in heaven. I thought I was in heaven, right? 10 years old, looking at these trucks. And I heard my mother and father say, "You like this one? Damon. Damon." They calling my name. Damon. I'm looking like, not answering. Trucks are more important right now. I'm looking at my trucks. Y'all deal with them suits. I'm dealing with trucks right now. And I remember them calling my name. Damon. This went on and on and on, right? Now, thinking about it, I was 10 years old. There's no way I should have muted myself. I should have said, hey, mom, pops, I'm over here. I didn't say anything. I'm just staring at these trucks. And my parents kept calling my name, and I can hear them looking for me. My father's like, where's he at? Where's he at? Did somebody get him? Did somebody get him? I hear all of this. I hear it, right? I hear all of this while I'm looking at these trucks, because these trucks at that point was more important than that freaking Easter suit, right? But they kept saying, Damon, Damon. And finally, they found me. They walked over there. My father, again, he's a big dude, man. He said, what are you doing over here? You didn't hear us calling your name? And I was like, that's all I was doing. He was like, we're going to the bathroom. And my father, he loved leather belts. I'm going to whoop your butt. Well, he didn't say whoop your butt, but he said, I'm going to whoop your butt, this and that. So we going to the bathroom. Now, anyone that's ever been at a Fairlane in Michigan, in Dearborn, they know where the bathrooms are at. I knew where the bathrooms were at. My father knew where the bathrooms were at. So he grabbed my hand. He dragging me all through that freaking mall. We going on all the levels. We looking for bathrooms. He said, you better tell me when you see a bathroom. And we're just passing bathrooms. I'm like, that's a bathroom there, bathroom there, bathroom there. I'm not going to tell you, right? And I know my father saw these bathrooms, right? And I know my father was probably like, okay, I'm really mad at this guy. He's really upset me. He scared me because he didn't reply when we was calling his name. And I know if I take his butt in this bathroom, I might go to jail because I'm going to freaking destroy this cat with my belt. Again, this was when you could whoop kids in public and it was applauded, right? And I knew what he was thinking about doing to me with that belt because I didn't answer him and my mother when they were calling my name. I knew if I say, "Ooh, Dad, bathroom's right there, and there's one on the 3rd floor, and then it's one on the 1st floor." So I didn't say nothing. He was like, "You seen a bathroom? You see a bathroom?" And I was like, "No, I don't see one." I was like, "I don't see one. I don't see one." This went on and on and on and on. Seems like forever. And I remember when we got in the car, he dragged me, threw me in the car. And he said, look, you know what had happened to that little boy last year named Adam? If you know the story about Adam, the little boy that was in the store. I think it was Florida, but that show, the host of that show, Adam's father, they kind of served as a catapult for America's Most Wanted based upon what happened to his son. And at that time, I don't remember the story, or I don't even think I heard about the story till he told me about it. And he was explaining it to me in the car. He was like, someone could have kidnapped you. Something could have happened to you. Why you didn't answer us? Why didn't you answer me and your mother when we were calling your name? You're just so fascinated with these trucks. Don't ever do that again. You understand? I mean, my father, he's a mild-mannered, diplomatic type person. But, at that time, he was big, big in stature and everything. Again, this is 1984. And he was just going off. And I remember sitting in the back of the car, I was crying. And then later on in life, you start to realize that, maybe I should have said, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm over here looking at these trucks. Because they probably would have bought them for me. But, I was a different little individual back in them years, right? But I remember, even to this day, I can hear that Damon, and I didn't even freaking answer, and that's weird. But I didn't even say anything, And as a parent, that would terrify me if my son or my daughter did that. It would terrify me, me and my wife, if our kids didn't answer us, because now you're thinking something's going to happen. What happened to him? Did someone take him? Again, I was 10 years old. I didn't think about the whole kidnapping thing. I was just like, hey, I want these trucks. But that was, again, that story wasn't long, but the whole point of it is, I should have, I guess the takeaways from this story was I should have answered them, because they don't know, putting myself in my parents' mindset, putting myself in my parents' shoes, something could have happened. Where's our son? He's not answering us. He was just right here. Where's he at? He's gone. We're looking for him. It was a scary situation. And I felt bad that night. I remember laying in the bed. I was put on punishment. And I got a whooping when I got home too, as per usual. I got a lot of whoopings. And but I remember my father, he was mad. My mother was mad, but my father was mad, right? And he's like, don't you ever, don't do that again. Don't do that again, And even now I notice, like, as my children were younger and as they're growing older, whenever they're with us, I ensure that they're within one arm's distance, because I remember that. I remember, if my son, we're in the store and he goes in this aisle, I'm right behind him. Hey, come here. My daughter, when she was younger, she'd go down the aisle. I'm there with her. You know what I mean? One arm's distance. If you get any further than that, the beacon starts coming on, right? And it was all as a result of that. So again, like when I tell these Wayback Wednesdays, these life stories, it's a reason why. And that shaped me even back in 1984 for years later as becoming a husband and a father. Just watching your children, making sure your children are safe. Don't hover over them, but ensure they are close by if you're with them as well. Again, even just telling that story is kind of like just bring it back, because I can remember that. I can remember that day. I can remember that day like it was yesterday, really. And that's been some years ago. Almost freaking, 30-some years ago? Well, shoot, more than that. But I tell you, it was a scary situation. And then when I watched that movie about Adam, what happened to him, and I think it was in the Sears, if I'm not mistaken, again, someone taking a child else, But that was my story today on Wayback Wednesday. I was fascinated with these freaking trucks, and these trucks. I won't say the trucks got me in trouble because it's an inanimate object, but I should have just said, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm over here looking at these trucks. And they probably would have got them for me. But, I decided to be stupid, young, and dumb and didn't answer them. And they in the aisle shopping for boys' clothes for Easter. And I'm over here looking at these freaking tractor trailers when all I had to do was say, I'm over here. And I remember my father turning over those, how they used to put the pants and the jackets on the little stands. I can remember seeing them stands getting knocked over, almost like, the animals in the wild, they'd be knocking stuff over. And I could just see this hulking man just over there with me. And he was like, why didn't you answer us? I just think about that, man. As a parent, it really, it paid dividends as I became a parent and grew older in life. But that was my story today. Kind of short today, Wayback Wednesday. Hope you all got something out of it. The main takeaway is watch your own, take care of your own, make sure that, those that's close to you are within one's arm's distance away. Anything more, you need to get that radar pulled up and find out where they're at. But that's something I would never, of course, I wouldn't want my children to do that. And but I think after I get off here, I'm gonna go on eBay and try to find this Sears truck. I want a Sears truck now. I want one. But again, that was Wayback Wednesday today. Tomorrow, talk with gym shoe stories on a Thursday. Gonna talk about the Jordan 1s, patent leather Jordan 1s. Got a story about those, even though they re-released them. But I'm the old head. I remember back in '84 when they came out. Not that patent leather version, but we'll talk about that one tomorrow. So again, today, that concludes today's episode of Wayback Wednesday. Hope you guys got some enjoyment out of it, a life lesson as well. So I appreciate everything. Again, if you're new to the channel and you like what you hear, go ahead and click that subscription button and that bell icon. And now you're notified of all the Trust and Believe Nomad Cast subsequent episodes, and you can just binge watch them as well. Stay tuned, stay locked. Appreciate everything. See you guys tomorrow for Gym Shoe Stories on a Thursday. As we always say, and let's say it together, trust and believe. See y'all tomorrow.